Welcome to the St. Bon's Buzz. I'm Cora.
And I am Melody. We are third graders at St. Bon's.
Check out some of these cool books I found at the book fair.
I found a few too.
Buzz fans, remember to check out the book fair. It's open today after school from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All of the money raised at our book fair helps buy books at our library and our classrooms.
Mark your calendars at the Home and School Association. Will be hosting at the end of the year street dance on Sunday, May 15th in the parking lot by the parish center.
Students and family members are invited.
Here, Mrs. A with another Mass Minute.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to our Mass Minute. This Friday when we have Mass, we are going to have the coolest saint that we're going to be thinking about and remembering. Her name was Saint Catherine of Siena. Now, I told you, some of you, about how when she was a girl, they lived in a small house and she had 23 brothers and sisters. Can you imagine that? That would be a lot of kids in one house. And St. Catherine, she wanted her own room. Can you believe that? Her own room with all those brothers and sisters? Her mother said no. She was already upset with her because she wasn't doing anything to help around the house. She was always off by herself. But finally, her father understood that St. Catherine wanted her own room because she wanted to spend more time praying. Now, think a minute. If you went to your mom and dad and said, I need my own room so I can pray all the time, do you think they'd give you your own room? I don't know. But anyway, her father gave her her own room and she spent all of her time in that room praying. Eventually, when she became an adult, that's all she did. She lived in her room and prayed and she never talked. And the only time she came out of her room was when she went to Mass. She really, really loved Jesus. There's a really neat story about St. Catherine about how one time she was trying to make friends with a lady who was very, very difficult. And every time St. Catherine went to talk to her, this lady would go around and say these terrible, horrible things about her. It really hurt St. Catherine's feelings. And she went to Jesus and cried a lot because this lady hurt her feelings so badly. And while she was talking to Jesus, Jesus showed her a crown of gold and a crown of thorns. And he said, Catherine, one of these you get to wear on earth, the other one you get to wear in heaven. Which one would you like to wear on earth? Well, Catherine chose the crown of thorns. Well, what was so incredible was when Catherine went to see this lady who had said all these mean things about her. She went to see this lady when she was very, very sick. And when the lady looked at her and saw her face, she actually saw Jesus's face when he was wearing the crown of thorns. So even though this lady was so mean and cruel, Catherine kept being Jesus for this lady. Isn't that an amazing thing? Sometimes I wonder when I go and talk to people who are mean to me, I wonder if they see Jesus in me. I have a picture here of St. Catherine that I want to show you. This is St. Catherine of Siena right here, and you can see she has her crown of thorns on, and she's wearing all white. So I have a story that I have to tell you about my own life with St. Catherine. When my daughter was in third grade, and she had to dress up like a saint, and her saint was St. Catherine. And we came up with a costume that was just like this one in the book. She was all in white. She had white up to her neck, all the way down to the floor, on her arms, and over her head. She was pure white everywhere, just like St. Catherine. Well, one of the things about St. Catherine was she had a stigmata. A stigmata is when you have the wounds of Jesus in your hands and your feet and your side. Well, St. Catherine had this, and my daughter had learned about that, so she had asked if she could take a magic marker and color red spots on her hand so she could have a stigmata too. But I said to her, no, you are going to receive Holy Communion, and you're not going to receive Holy Communion with dirty hands and hands written on with marker. And my daughter was very sad about that. Well, we came to church and we had to get everything ready because you know how busy it is for the All Saints Day Mass. So she was helping me get things ready in the choir area and the songboards. And all of a sudden I looked and she was standing like this. She had a bloody nose. And she was all in white. And my first thought was, oh no, she's gonna get blood all over her saint costume. So I took off her habit and I rolled her sweatshirt down and I pulled her sleeves up and I held her nose so that it would stop bleeding. And when we finally got it to stop, I said to her, you need to go to the restroom now and wash all the blood off your nose and your face and your hands. So she left, but when she came back, she had her hands like this. I looked at her and I said, did you wash your hands? She opened her hands and sure enough, she did not. She had blood all over her hands from her bloody nose. I said, you need to go wash your hands. And she said, oh, but Mom, it's my stigmata. St. Catherine gave it to me. So I told her if her teacher, Sister Dolores, said it was okay, she could leave it on her hands. So we went back to her classroom and I said, Sister, look at this. And I took my daughter's hands and I showed them to her like this. And Sister said, oh my. And I said, she wants to know if she can leave the blood on her hands for her stigmata like St. Catherine. And Sister said, absolutely. So we laughed to this day about how my daughter really did get to have St. Catherine's stigmata on her. And I think it's kind of interesting because I was her mom, and you know what I said? No, you can't do that, just like St. Catherine's mom did. But Sister Dolores said, yes, you can. I'm so glad Sister Dolores encouraged her. So St. Catherine is a very beautiful and wonderful saint. She prays for us. She had no education. She couldn't read or write, but she had someone help her write 400 books. Can you believe that? She's one of the doctors of the church, which is amazing because there's only 2 women in the entire history of the church that get to be doctors of the church. So when we come on Friday to Mass, remember this amazing saint that we get to remember and praise and thank Jesus for. And you can pray for her too. She's the patron saint of people who get made fun of for their faith. So she's a wonderful saint for us to have watching our back. Well, boys and girls, thanks for listening. I can't wait to see you at Mass. I can't wait till we can sing all of our Easter songs. And have a great week. See you on Friday. Bye.
Thanks, Mrs. A.
Hey, Elodie, do you know what today is? Riddle Day.
Yes, I love Riddle Day.
Good, because I got a really tricky riddle submitted by one of the students here at St. Bon's.
Oh no, I might need a little help here.
Here it is. What has 88 keys but can't open a single door?
Gosh, I don't know.
If you guys know the answer, write it on a piece of paper with your name on it and give it to your teacher, or you can put it in Mrs. Hamling's riddle box right inside the library on the back shelf.
We will see if you got it right on Friday's show.
Here's the riddle one more time. What has 88 keys but can't open a single door?
Let's check out what's lunch on Thursday.
Lunch on Thursday is chicken patty, green beans, and fruit.
Remember, you can eat the school lunch or bring your own lunch from home.
The weather for Thursday is expected to be the mid-70s.
Don't forget to bring your water bottle.
Here is our kid reporter Leo with another segment of the new feature on the bus called Father Knows Best.
Thanks, Cora. I'm here with Father Mike. Father Mike, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Leo. Great to have you here in my office.
Our Buzz fans submitted a lot of questions for you. The first question is from Delilah Gunderson in 2nd grade. She wanted to know when and where you were born.
Well, just so happens I was born in Casper, Wyoming, not in Nebraska. Casper is almost in the center of the state of Wyoming, which looks like a big square. And it just so happens today is my birthday.
Happy birthday, Father Mike.
Thank you. You know what? I was born in 1965. Those who can do math really quick can figure out how old I am.
Our next question is actually 3 questions all about what you wear during Mass. A lot of different kids have these questions. Why do you wear a robe? What are your robes called? And why are there so many different colors?
Wow, that's a lot of questions. What's the first one again?
Why do you wear a robe?
Yes, so the first robe that I put on is a white robe, and it's a representation of my baptismal cloth that I received when I was a little baby. Reminds us of our baptism and that we are to be pure and holy. It's called an alb, and alb in Latin is white. What's the next question there?
What are your robes called?
Yes, so they're called, the robe that I put on next is called the chasuble. The chasuble is a word that means little house, and that's because it protects people from the elements, from like the wind and the rain and so forth. You could even sleep under it, but today we use it for liturgical, like for Mass and so forth, and so it protects me from the evil one. I like suit up for battle.
Thanks, Father Mike.
What's the third question?
The third question is, and why are there so many different colors?
Yes, okay, so the first color that we're wearing right now in the Easter season is white because it celebrates joy. We also do that during Christmas. And then the next color is green, and green is during ordinary time. And so we're always called to be green and growing in those ordinary times. And then during like Lent and Advent, we wear purple, or really the liturgical color is violet. And violet is the color during Lent of like, oh, we're so sorry that Jesus died for us. And in Advent, it's more like Jesus is the King. And then we have the final color, which is red. And red is celebrated on days where we celebrate the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is like a purifying fire and also lights our way. Also, stands for the blood of the martyrs. So when I celebrate a Mass that has a martyr, then I wear the color red because of blood. The martyr shed his blood for us, or her blood.
That's great information. Kinley in 4th grade was wondering if you're supposed to fold your hands or hold your hands out during the Our Father prayer at Mass.
That's a really good question. So all people in church are called to hold their hands in the prayer position like this. This position is called the Orans position, and it's only reserved for the priest.
Our next question is from Reed in 2nd grade. He asks, what is your favorite part about being a priest?
Oh, my favorite part about being a priest is doing the sacrament of reconciliation, because it is so healing for the people that go. They're so excited afterwards, kind of nervous before and excited afterwards. And so I'm like a spiritual doctor, a spiritual healer, and I get all my power from Jesus Christ. So it's not me that's doing the healing, it is Jesus.
Our final question for today is from another 2nd grader, Annabelle, asks, why is there a war, like Russia attacking Ukraine?
Yeah, that's sad, isn't it? It is. So the reason that wars occur is because of the effects of original sin, and people are prideful, or they're hungry for power or money, and so they do these things, and they cause a lot of bad things. And so war is always something that we need to avoid.
Thank you so much for your time, Father Mike. Well, there you have it, Buzz fans. Make sure to submit your questions for Father Mike for our next segment of Father Knows Best. Back to you.
Happy birthday, Father! Thanks, Leo and Father Mike.
Elodie, what did you draw for Spirit Catholic Radio Art Project?
I drew Jesus' heart. How about you, Cora?
I drew the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Mrs. Hamling has collected all of the awesome artwork, so let's take a look.
Wow, we have a lot of talented artists in our school. I can't wait to see if any of our art gets chosen for the Spirit Catholic Radio Calendar Contest.
Let's stand and say the Memorare.
That's all we have time for today.
Thanks for joining us in the St. Bon's Buzz.
And check out these pictures of our friends.
Look at that!
Ooh, let's go to book fair.
Where'd they go?
We found some great stuff at the book fair.